Tata Power. A couple of triggers in focus. The Gujarat government has accepted the power panel recommendations. Mundra UMPP has met a 15% of Gujarat needs. So good time then to bring on board Praveer Sinha, the CEO and MD at Tata Power, joining us on the show. Praveer, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Relief finally looks like underway for Mundra Power companies. Tell us a little bit about the entire process, what the next step is going to be for actual tariff hike.
Good morning and thank you for having me on the show. What has happened is post the Supreme Court directive wherein they gave 8 weeks time for all the beneficiary states to modify the PPA and reach out to CERC so that the approval can be in place. So that process has started. As the lead procurer, Gujarat has gone and issued the government order and has also directed the DISCOM over there, that is GUVNL, to complete the amended PPA. And based on that, the order copy has also been given to the other 4 beneficiary states who are also in the process of now getting a government order issued for modifying the PPA. So we expect that the whole process should get completed in the 8-week timeline which has been given by the Honorable Supreme Court. And thereafter, the amended PPA will give the sort of relief that is proposed in the government order.
Mr. Sinha, just to understand the entire equation, if our numbers are correct, you will still have a loss of about 50 to 60 paisa per unit. Is the understanding right? And this, I've looked at the numbers, how much will have to be shared and how much will have to be compensated and what will be the price hike. But the bottom line here is that losses will come down, but you will still be losing money.
You are absolutely right that there would still be a delta loss which would be there. But it depends on what is the cost of coal. If the HBA is $90, then the loss would be something like 35 to 40 paisa. So that's the numbers that we are looking at. And so this is a relief in terms of the under recovery being reduced. So earlier, if the under recovery was about 80 to 90 paisa, depending on the cost of coal, it will come down by nearly 50%, and that's what we are looking at present in terms of the benefit that will come to us.
That's on the under recoveries front, Mr. Sinha, and please, correct me if I'm wrong here. How much of that would kind of get recovered by you, initiating a tariff hike, which is expected at Mundra? I mean, can you tell us the quantum that you're planning?
As I mentioned to you that about 40 paisa would be the under recovery that would be there. So we'll recover 40 paisa from the tariff hike. In terms of the impact on the tariff in the states, considering the pooled cost of power, when it gets socialized, it would be in a state like Gujarat, it would be maximum 1.5 paisa. In other states also it is in that range, about 1 paisa, the overall increase in tariff over there.
Would that, again, just a very basic question, how would that translate into overall profitability, if you could, throw some color on that?
Well, our losses, which presently is about 1,700 crores in Mundra, will come down by 50%. And then we'll, of course, take some more measures in terms of optimizing our financing cost and other operational parameters. And we expect that our eventual loss will be in the range of about 500 to 600 crores.
I'm assuming that this number would stand true for next financial year, and in this financial year nothing would change because you only have like a quarter left now?
The effective date of the amendment has been put as 15th October 2018. So hopefully for nearly 50% of this year, we will have this benefit that will accrue to the company.
Mr. Sinha, I will take the liberty of moving away from the Mundra project and talk about the general view which we are getting on the power sector. The general view which we are getting, at least from fund managers, analysts and the investing fraternity, is that Hindustan mein bijli ki shortage hai. Is that true? Is it true that power prices are likely to move higher and there is going to be a shortage of power?
Yeah, there are 3 reasons why this has happened. The first reason is that the coal supply has not kept pace with the demand of power plants. And especially in last 6 months, we have seen that most of the power plants have not been getting adequate quantity of coal, and they have very short supply of coal, and the stock is only for about 2 to 3 days. And that has been one of the reasons that.
Sinha, again, just a broad question, and that it will give us an indication of actually what's the problem at the core for the power sector. Some of which that you're grappling with as well. Do you sense that there's a supply side pressure coming in with coal shortage, or is there a demand side scale down which is putting power companies such as yourself in a bit of a spot?
It is both sides. There is a supply side of coal which is a constraint, and they are not adequately able to address the requirements of power plants. Second is the demand has also gone up, primarily because the summer has been little long this year. Secondly, because of the Saubhagya scheme and the other schemes of government to connect all the houses in the villages, the demand of power has gone up. And also we find that elections are coming, and there is a huge pressure on the state discoms to ensure adequate supply of electricity in all the states, including rural areas. So there is a general increase in demand that has been seen, and that is the reason there is a shortage, and the short-term market has gone up in last 6 months.
Okay. Mr. Sinha, this is 2018 or end of 2018. Let's say if we are engaging on a similar forum after 2 years, what could be the big change for Tata Power? Will it be more contribution coming from new areas of business? Will it be more contribution coming from solar area of business? Or will it be pure growth and power demand and your new acquisitions which will start filtering in? Because last couple of years, frankly, have been tough for Tata Power. They've been tough for the power sector. The stress is out, but when will the real numbers start coming in financially?
Absolutely right. In last 2 years, we have not added much of capacity. We have virtually stagnated at whatever level of generation that we had been doing. But what you have seen and what we are working on is adding capacity, mainly in the renewable space. We have in last 6 months won 500 megawatt of utility scale solar. We are going aggressively on rooftop solar, and we have plans to reach out to nearly 100 cities in next 2 years. We've already gone into 4 cities, and by end of this financial year, we'll be in 18 cities. Similarly, we are coming up with whole range of new products, whether it is in terms of electric vehicle charging facilities or it is home automation. So there is huge amount of growth which is coming up, and these are all again retail side growth that is coming in. Apart from this, through our Resurgent platform, we have gone and taken over the Prayagraj plant, and that is a capacity addition that has come, where we not only have stake but will be also operating the plant. So what you would see is that in next 2 years, since we are consolidating and a lot of non-core assets we are now selling off, we'll have enough money with us to plan the growth that we are planning for ourselves in the power sector.
Okay. Could you give us a sense of when will the PPAs be reworked, and when do you expect states' approval to come in?
I'm expecting that all this should get completed by the end of December.
Okay, that's very encouraging to hear. And does this CERC approval mean that PPAs across other states can be reworked as well? Does it open up the opportunity of nationwide price hikes? Because I think don't you think that's the need of the hour?
This high power committee and this direction from Supreme Court is specifically for imported coal-based plants which were set up in the state of Gujarat. And others have to go through the process of getting necessary approvals and justification for any increase. So there was a genuine reason in this, and that's what the High Power Committee felt about it, and especially the attractiveness of the power cost from all these plants. So I think they have to be looked on merit of each case rather than on a generic basis, saying that this will be done for everyone.
Right, Mrs. Sinha, it's been a great conversation. I just want to end with some closing thoughts from you. You just heard the RBI talk about how financing companies, NBFCs, don't really need a special liquidity window. It seems like funding is not as dire as it is being made out to be. For somebody who's representing the other end of the spectrum, power producers and power companies have been really at the center of this debate of financing power projects and their executions. How do you see this, the story panning out? Because we're stepping into an election year, and typically at such a time, expansion plans are scaled down. Just in the wake of waiting out for, who forms a new government. What's your own sense about the outlook for the power sector into the coming year, given the situation that the sector faces currently?
As far as the funding is concerned, good projects, good promoters always get funding, and we have not seen any credit squeeze as far as Tata Power is concerned, and whatever growth plans that we have been sharing with our lenders and banks, they have been very supportive of it. Generally in power sector, because of the challenges that many of those plants had in terms of either not having the PPA or not having the coal supply arrangement, they have not been able to. So it's more of operational challenges that they have, and if they are able to resolve the operational challenges, since those plants are already set up, there is no reason why they should not be able to produce power and supply to the users in the country.
Really appreciate your time. I know you are busy in between meetings and you've accommodated this interview request on behalf of everyone from ET Now. Thank you very much, and thank you for patiently answering all our questions.
Thank you, Nikunj. Always a pleasure.